What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be checking out this 2026 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. This one's finished in Afterburn Orange with an MSRP around $46,000. Big shout out to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this truck for today's video. Check out the link to their website, linked down below. Taking a look at these specs with the 2026 Nissan Frontier, you're gonna get that naturally aspirated 3.8 liter 6-cylinder. This V6 makes 310 horsepower with 281 pound-feet of torque. This has a 9-speed automatic transmission, a 4-wheel drive system. Overall curb weight is around 4,900 pounds, and then max towing capacity is 6,700 pounds. Payload is around 1,200, and then we get a 21.1 gallon fuel tank, so you can expect 16 miles per gallon in the city with 20 out on the highway. The overall length is 224.1 inches with a wheelbase at 139.8. Width is 73 inches with height at 72 inches. And then ground clearance is also 7.7 inches. Onto the styling with the 2026 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. Nothing really all has changed in the last couple years. You're gonna see the nice set of LED headlights along with those daytime running lights up above and below. You can see the dark color for the grille. I like the silver trim throughout it. There's a forward-facing camera, a Nissan badge, and tons of openings all throughout it. Down below, we have your orange recovery hooks along with a nice skid plate. There's a Bilstein suspension throughout this truck as well. And then we have a lot of body color on these front corners with LEDs for the fog lights and some nice trim all throughout that front end. There's also going to be some sharp body lines throughout the hood fading towards the windshield just to add to that aggressive style that the Frontier has. So overall, can't complain, it's just a nice looking mid-size truck. You're gonna see the plastic colored material for the front fenders, and then I really like these updated wheels. They're 17-inch diameter, really unique style with some orange accents to them. There's a reflector up in front as well, and then just some clean body lines throughout the side. You can see the body colored on the door handles along with the mirror caps, and then we have an integrated camera down below. There's gonna be all black trim throughout the windows, just giving it a nice seamless look. And then being a mid-sized truck with a crew cab and shorter bed has a very nice side profile. Very proportional looking truck with a good front and rear balance. And then we have that Pro 4X badge with some sleek lines throughout the bedside. I like the design on those taillights. They look really sharp as well, finished in the red housing. And then that connects into this really cool trim piece with Pro 4X, the Nissan logo, really nice gray color. Frontier is also stamped into the tailgate. And then we have all of our parking sensors down below with just a plastic body colored cap on the left and right side. Got your trailer hitch with those plugs. Nice style overall, some textured plastic on the upper portion of the bed. And really can't complain, just a good looking overall truck. For the key fob, you have Nissan's basic key fob with lock, unlock, remote start, just black on the backside. If I go ahead and lock the truck, I can keep the key fob in my pocket, and when you grab the handle, you can press that button and automatically unlock it. So this just has the basic interior. Leather is also available. And then you're gonna see on the door panel, finished off in the black, you have the soft touch padding on the armrest with contrast stitching. Nice release handle with all those basic controls up above. You have some orange accents, storage, and then power controls on both of the front seats. There's gonna be a smooth design for the fabric and then a really cool textured design throughout it. You got your Pro 4X, all the orange stitching as well, and then a nice leather wrapped steering wheel with more of the orange accents. And then now inside the 2026 Nissan Frontier, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Got your multimedia screen, infotainment screen turning on, and then a nice gauge sweep in the center with a pretty cool animation. For the steering wheel on the left side, we're gonna get some Bluetooth and audio controls, screen controls, and then we have cruise control on the right. Stock on the right side is gonna be for all the windshield wipers, and then the stock on the left side is for your turn signals as well. Taking a look at the gauge cluster, I like how there's a mix of the analog as well as the digital. If you scroll through the digital screen, you're gonna get a lot of information you're able to go through, settings within the truck, and then all sorts of different shortcuts right here with a nice depiction and different good information. Got some trip info as well, some gauges, and then you're gonna get a nice off-road depiction with steering and pitch and roll. So pretty cool design, very simple. And then down on the left side, we have our tow mode, interior dimming. We have a power outlet. There's even a locking rear differential along with traction control. One of your air vents over here with just some harder plastics all above the dash. Storage in the upper section, and then some soft touch material with some faux stitching on the passenger side. You're gonna get a lockable glove box with a large bucket. And then right in the center, this is the up-to-date screen. However, I'm not sure why Nissan didn't give it the up-to-date software. So a little interesting how we have the old screen basically on this side, and not really much pops up over here, so it doesn't really utilize the whole screen. Even the camera system, it's a little fuzzy, not the greatest camera out there. And again, not sure why it doesn't utilize the entire screen like the modern software you're going to see in other Nissans. So a little interesting. I feel like they could have added more. I believe Apple CarPlay will give you a full screen design. But nonetheless, you got a screen with some basic stuff. Frontier is written out, and then we have our simple climate control. Dual zone temperature that you can sync. You have your different zones, fan speed, all that. A plug on the right side. And then if we go ahead and pop it into 4 high, there is 4 low as well. You can configure your drive modes. So you have this nice new pad for all the drive modes, and that's going to pop up on the screen. So you can go into all the different modes very simply. There's even a downhill assist control. So nice to see that. We have our auto start stop on and off, heated seats and steering wheel, parking sensors and plugs, and then a decent amount of storage all throughout the center. I like there's more soft touch material, stitching, 2 grab handles, cup holders, as well as a wireless phone charging pad. Got a nice padded armrest and then extra storage all underneath. For the seats, once again, one last look. Has a nice look with all the orange throughout the truck. Just a simple black headliner. There's controls up above for your dome lights, and then we can pop that down for a sunglass holder, and we just have a thin basic mirror. Moving on to the back seat space now, I can just grab the door handle and open it up. The door panel is finished off similar to the front with the soft touch padding material. Then you have the nice stitching as well. Once again, in back, you're gonna get the smooth fabric as well as that cool texture trim design. So it has a nice rugged style to it. In the center, we can pull this down. You're gonna get an armrest as well as 2 cup holders. There's a manual sliding rear glass. For amenities, you just have some storage on the one side and then a couple plugs down below. And then you can pull this up. We have a little bit of hidden storage space down below here. And then if you pull this lever up, we can then pull the front of the seat up and you're gonna get a nice storage bin. You're gonna have a much larger bin over on the other side as well, so it's a nice touch to see. Now, Frontier is a little on the cramped side as it is small mid-sized truck, so not the most space back here. However, at 5'11", obviously I do fit. I have good headroom with the driver's seat at my height. I still do have some legroom and footroom. Just the seats, they're very small. So the seat base is very low, so my legs are kind of up in the air, and the backrest is really straight up. However, looking at the sizing, you could actually probably fit a car seat in here. So young kids really wouldn't be too bad. Friends in a pinch, stuff as well. But obviously it's not the greatest back seat in the world, just a little on the cramped side. And then moving on to the bed space, I can just grab the handle. It's got somewhat of a soft open. And then this one even gets a full spray and bed liner. We have the aluminum rail all throughout it to add some accessories. And then in each corner, there is a tie down hook. Got an LED light, a power outlet as well, and then just a plastic design for the bed area. You're gonna see it doesn't weigh too much as well. You can easily close it up. All right, so setting off now in the Frontier, got the 360 camera up. This is a decent truck for off-roading. It's not crazy capable like a Tacoma, but honestly, it's got a lot of the features to make this pretty well usable for some off-pavement action. Now, on-road with that V6, giving it some slight gas, it is nice to have a normal V6. A lot of people just like that smooth power delivery as well as the very nice reliable aspects. So just having a simple V6 is pretty nice in today's day and age when everything is going 4-cylinder turbo. With that said, overall ride quality, especially with the Bilsteins, it absorbs bumps pretty well. It feels like a tough truck at the end of the day. You can tell the construction is just nice and solid. Really nothing loose about it. It's a tight truck to drive. It's very old school feeling, something that you would expect from like 10 years ago with just being a solid feeling vehicle. Now, some of the downfalls, I would say, the steering I like and I don't like at the same time. When you're driving it, it's got a very nice heavy weight to it, which gives you a bit more responsive feeling. It feels very mechanical, which is a really nice touch for any vehicle. Only drawback is when you start getting into the slow speeds, the steering feels really heavy compared to the competition. Now, again, it depends on how slow you're going. It's really only annoying when you're like backing up and kind of going in and out where you're cranking it all the way from one side to the next. Also, the turning circle is a bit big, so you're gonna notice a lot of like heavy steering to try to get into parking spaces. I've noticed I've overshot a lot of them. So steering, I'm kind of 50-50 on. I like it most of the time, but slow speed's not the biggest fan. With the V6, it's not as powerful as those 4-cylinder turbos, given you have to use this engine all the way. You don't get that just download torque. But again, it's just a smooth delivery. The 9-speed delivers the power very well. You're not really gonna hear much road noise or wind noise. You know, it's a pretty smooth highway cruiser. Good visibility, all the glass is pretty large. The mirrors do a good job as well. And then visibility over your left and right shoulder. Really can't complain. It's just an easy truck to use. Using the tech, it's super simple and basic as expected. So just a nice normal truck. Seat comfort is all right. They're a little on the stiff side, and like I noticed in the back how it feels a little small back there, The front does kind of just give you a little bit of a cramped feeling. Not to say it's crazy small, just it feels a little small compared to the competition. So I wouldn't have minded maybe just a little bit bigger interior space. Overall, it's fine. Not really gonna have any major complaints. Just I wouldn't mind maybe a little bit more creature comfort aspect. But again, this is a very affordable truck, doesn't break the bank. So my honest thoughts now with the 2026 Nissan Frontier, not really much has changed for this model year. Fundamentally, it's still the same exact truck, just a couple basic things. So like I said, my one complaint with the steering, it's not that it's impossible to steer. It's funny, whenever I mention the steering in this, people will get on their egos and say, well, you must not have enough muscle to drive this truck. Anybody can steer this, it's not hard. It's just when you compare it to the competition, it is noticeably heavier steering, which is a little on the interesting side. Again, normal driving, it's nice. It does give you that mechanical feeling, which a lot of modern cars don't have. So you don't get that electronic feeling to it. I like how it just feels good when you're driving normal. It's just when you're like parking it and stuff like that, given the turning radius isn't that good, I find myself going lock to lock a lot. And given it weighs a little more when you're rotating it one way and then the other way, forwards, reverse, it just gets a little annoying. We've had a bunch of these as press cars, so I put probably a couple thousand miles on these Frontiers, and parking it is always just my biggest complaint. I feel like I'm turning the steering wheel so many times and overshooting parking spaces as if it were a full-size truck. So I just wouldn't mind a little bit sharper steering. Other than that though, it's just a good, simple truck. It's not gonna be everybody's taste, given it's not the most, bells and whistles type of truck. It's not the most modern with its drivetrain, but not everybody likes that stuff. A lot of people just want a simple mid-size truck. And this is what we've seen for the last 10, 20 years, and people absolutely love. And I feel like ever since the last couple of years, when everything's really going 4-cylinder for the most part, I think the Frontier has become more and more popular just because it's the simple, normal mid-size truck on the market. There's really nothing like it. Now, Ford does offer a V6 actually on a Ranger. Talking with my dealer even, they pretty much never get one. So that's probably a hard vehicle to find. These Frontiers are at the dealers left and right in every single trim level. So this is an easy truck to find, readily available. And I mean, we're talking under 50 grand fully loaded. It's a very affordable truck. You don't have to spend a lot to get one of these. And knowing that you have that V6, it's just a simple engine and powertrain, it's gonna be robust and reliable, and you're just not gonna have any issues long term. It's gonna be an easy truck to own. You're just missing out on some of the bells and whistles, the extra interior space, and there's nothing really all too groundbreaking with this truck. It's just basic. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. There's nothing innovative about it, but also it means less to go wrong. So this really does appeal to, it seems like, a lot of people, and a lot of owners of these Frontiers simply love it. They've driven the Tacoma alongside this. Personally, I'd go Tacoma over this. I think it's got better space, better interior, a lot more power, which I like. But there's enough people who don't agree with that and would rather go with an old school simple truck like this and enjoy the Frontier. So I can't argue with that. People like this truck. It has a lot to offer. Again, simplicity in a brand new truck is hard to find these days, and the Frontier is giving you that. So that is about it for the 2026 Nissan Frontier. Nice old V6, just a simple new truck that's gonna probably suit the needs for most buyers without breaking the bank. Can't complain. That is it. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. Big shout out once again to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this truck for today's video. Check out the link to their website linked below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.